Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you all for joining me on this Saturday. I hope you all are having a wonderful scrump diddly docious Saturday. It's your boy Nebulosis, but you guys already know that. Got some electro jazz swinging music in the background. I've kind of been feeling like a electro swing kick lately, so those are the tunes on in the background. And I hope it's not too noisy for you. I know don't have many people in here, but if anyone in chat would like to let me know how the audio sounds, how does my smooth voice sound, and how is the music in the background, if you could let me know, I would appreciate that. I think it's okay. I adjusted it before the stream, but of course everyone's PC is different and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, today I think for a good portion of the stream, we will be checking out this Yuna deck. Lost in Yuna is what I call it because it is taking a combo that I really enjoy. And it's actually a deck that I played, I think last time I played it was with the Legend of Avatar. And that is with a card that everyone loves, Yuna, Hope of Spira. You guys know this enchantment, but we combo that with Lost in Littlejohra, this enchantment. We get it down on turn 4, and then it's chapter 1 says we get to Surveil 3, which actually helps Yuna out a lot. Of course, with the Surveil 3, we hope to drop off some pretty powerful enchantments. And then going into chapter 2, which kicks off on our turn 5, we can see that it says when we next cast a creature spell, we get to make a token copy of that creature, except it isn't legendary. So then on turn 5, we can cast Yuna. We get a non-legendary token copy of her. So then we have 2 Yunas on the battlefield. And you guys know, at the beginning of our end step, we get to pull 2 enchantments back from our graveyard and put them onto the battlefield. And we have some pretty nice enchantments that we can hopefully pull back. Basically, all of the overlords, we got the Overlord of the Flood Pits, Overlord of the Huntwoods, and Overlord of the Mist Moors. You guys probably know those ones as well. And then the real powerhouses, of course, would be Summon Knights of Round. That would be a great one to pull back. And also Summon Bahamut would be an amazing creature enchantment to pull back as well. And that combo, it is doable. I've definitely done it in the past. But that's kind of like the cherry on top. I mean, Yuna, you guys know this deck. She's a fan favorite. This kind of is like a nice little milkshake with some whipped cream. If you can pull off the combo with Lost in Littlejohra and you get 2 Yunas, that honestly is the cherry on top. But of course, you guys know how we do it here. We like to go big or go home. So the extra little tiny cherry on top of the cherry, or you know how sometimes when they're finished making you like a chocolate milkshake, they'll like tap this tin that has like chocolate powder in it and sprinkle a little bit of chocolate powder over the top. That is what these 2 final cards are. One of them is a new card, a new enchantment card from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set, and that is the Cloning of Shredder. It's an enchantment for 6 mana. I don't think we ever cast it, because we don't play any black in this deck, funny enough. But we hope to pull this. Let me just talk about this enchantment first of all. We get to exile a creature card from our graveyard and make a token copy of it. And then chapter 2 and 3, when it pops off, we get to make a copy of the token creature copy that we exiled with Cloning of Shredder. The most funniest, bestest, awesomest creature to pull back from the graveyard would be Ojutak, Deepest Foundation, because if we pull this guy back with Cloning of Shredder, then on chapter 2 and 3 we make a extra copy, token copy of Ojutak. But Ojutak says if one or more creature tokens would be created, you create 3 times that many instead. So you guys can imagine that going into chapter 2 pops off really hard, and then going into chapter 3, it really pops off hard. So like I said, the full Disneyland, Dreamland, Christmasland, chocolate milkshake with a cherry on top, sprinkled with chocolate powder, awesome combo would be turn 4, go Lost in Littlejohra, Surveil 3, so hopefully get some power in the graveyard. Turn 5, go into Yuna. We get 2 copies of her. One of them can pull back, hopefully, one of these enchantments, and then the other Yuna can hopefully pull back Cloning of Shredder that gets Ojutak back from our graveyard. That is the full combo that we're trying to go with today. So I've been rambling long enough. Let's just jump into some games, see if we can pull it off. Yeah, I've been playing some Brawl lately. Playing with Italy. One of my favorite cards of all time. Such a fun creature card, Italy. Kind of like a roulette wheel. Spin the wheel, see what you hit off Italy. But right now, we will look to see if we can do anything with Yuna. You have Lost in the Jara. Unfortunately, I don't think we can keep this hand. Just because we don't have any green mana. But at the same time, Meticulous Archive does get to help us surveil, so we're going to risk it. Normally, I would advise don't keep this hand. Third land drop is nice, but, I mean, again, we're really looking for a green mana source. And, of course, we find Cloning of Shredder. This one has to be in our graveyard, not in our hand, so it's already not looking... It's not looking good for you, boy. Do hit the green land, so not necessarily punished. Let's go with Summon Fenny. And I think we take the forest. Yeah, definitely take the forest. Ooh, opponent is a Simulacrum Synthesizer deck. That's pretty rough. And we don't have any enchantments in the graveyard. So maybe we rip a double cash grab. Yeah, let's go. Well, let's go with one cash grab. There's Oge Attack. Okay. And I think we take the Willow Rush. And then do we go with Summon Fenrir for some ramp? I think we do. Because then next turn we can do it like this. We'll take the blue source. That's fine. We can punch in for 3. Get to draw a card next turn. But yeah, the reason I did it like this is because next turn we have 6 mana, so we can play Lost in the Jara and a cash grab. And it looks like the opponent found the... Is it Perilous Snare? Nah, it's basically Perilous Snare. So they get to create 1 token artifact. I'll be honest, guys, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for your boy. There is a Summon Knights of Round. Would have been nice if we could have gotten that guy in our graveyard. We do have a Day of Judgment that we can just rip. Panic, Day of Judgment, Surveil 3, so we're looking for Yuna. Yikes. That is a big yikes moment. Yeah, well, we just get rid of those 3 cards. Cash grab. Still no Yuna. You absolutely have to be kidding me. Well, then I guess we take this Overlord back. We are nearly halfway through our deck, and we have not seen a single Yuna. Oh, that is just unfortunate. And then... Oh, I guess that one can take Lost in the Jara. Man, this opponent is just cooking us right now with these stupid enchantments. Or artifacts, actually. Repurposing Bay, yeah. I'm not even going to stay for this. Ooh. Started off a little rocky. Looked like we were kind of pulling it back with some of our draws. And I mean, yeah, we were able to put so much in the graveyard, just nothing really good. Aye. And then, yeah, Simulacrum Synthesizer does what Simulacrum Synthesizer does. Just create a ton of artifact tokens that just run you down. All right, guys, we get to go first, and this hand is actually looking pretty good. Again, Cloning of Shredder, we do really want that one in our graveyard, not in our hand. Opponent shocks in a land. Is it a green landfall deck? This Overlord can actually drop off Cloning of Shredder, so that's pretty nice. So let's go with Cash Grab. Ooh, there's a Yuna. As much as I would like to take Starting Town, I think we have to take Yuna. And then next turn we go with Esper Origins, and we'll start looking for some lands. Did we get any enchantments? We did. We got Overlord of the Mistmoors. And it is a Badgermole Cub deck, so I think the real question we have to ask ourselves, do we live until turn 5? All right, let's go Esper Origins. Don't think we need those 2 cards at all. Now we can get a hedge maze down. Hopefully we can throw an enchantment in the graveyard. I guess we'll throw a summon Fenrir there. And then next turn is Lost in Lajara. We get a Surveil 3. Hopefully one of them is a land on top. So then turn 5, we can go with a double Yuna, pull back a Overlord. Opponent is the Bloodthirsty Conqueror deck. That's pretty funny. Do another Yuna. That's all right. Hopefully we can get some power in the graveyard, summon Knights of Round, and another Overlord. Yikes. Don't call it a comeback, guys. I mean, they could just have an infinite life gain, life drain loop that pops off right now. I mean, they are in... I was going to say Golgari colors, so maybe they could destroy our enchantment, but it doesn't look like it. Opponent gains some life, draws a card. We're down to 11, but like I said, here is where the combo starts to come together. Create a token copy of Yuna. And for Xiao, we will pull back... Oh, the blue Overlord's in our hand. I was like, I thought we had a blue Overlord in the graveyard. But no, he's in our hand, which is fine. Alright, so we have some blockers, which is nice. Not quite enough to take out the Bloodthirsty Conqueror. But we have enough blockers on the ground. Opponent has a nowhere to run to actually get rid of our Knights of Round. That is unfortunate, because we did bring it back with Yuna, so it does go into exile. Spring Bloom Druid, sack a land to put 2 lands on the battlefield. That's all right. Opponent with 3 mana to work with. Could be another nowhere to run. That's interesting that they're attacking with that land. I will block that guy with one of our tokens. Oh, a little bit of lag. Maybe they just wanted that token. That's fine. All right. I guess we can choose Overlord of the Mistmoors. Since he does have trample, we get down this land. We can play this Overlord for the full 5 mana. Draw 2 cards. And drop off a Cloning of Shredder, and then Overlord punches in. I guess that's the only one that needs to punch in for right now. Opponent takes the double block. All right. I'm fine losing that Overlord. A little bit unfortunate, but we gain 6 life. And guys, here is where this combo starts to pop off. We will pull back a Cloning of Shredder, and honestly, let's just get another Lost in Lajara. We want to keep that Overlord in the battlefield. Yes. Okay, wait. We're going to do it like this. We'll get that Summon Knights of Round into the battlefield. Because now this Cloning of Shredder can pull back a Summon Knights of Round. Oh, I guess we pulled back Lost in Lajara. Okay. I was like, doesn't this unit get to take anything away? But no, we pulled back Lost in Lajara, so that's fine. Opponent's probably not attacking in because we have a lot of nice blockers. And look at this. Cloning of Shredder pops off, so we make a token copy of Summon Knights of Round. And here is where if we had Ogertak, that would be really, really nice. Let's go with an Esper Origin. See if we can maybe put an Ogertak in the graveyard. No Ogertak. That's fine. Draw Yuna, that's also fine. And then I guess we attack with this one. I guess we can honestly just start putting tons of pressure on the opponent. So we will attack with, we'll attack like this. And this enchantment, these 2 enchantments have lifelink. Who else do we have in the graveyard? All right, let's put Cloning of Shredder in the graveyard. All right, so opponent is taking a decent chunk of damage, and I think we still have enough mana to impend this Overlord. I really hope to get a Ogertak in the graveyard. Oh, and we actually get to make a token copy of him. That's pretty funny. Discard a card. I guess the Meticulous Archives can go. This one we get to draw and discard. We'll drop off the Overlord. So, unfortunately, no Ogertak. That is unfortunate, but this unit, again, you guys already know. copies of Cloning of Shredder? I don't know how many copies of Cloning of Shredder we play with, so I'm actually going to pull back Overlord with you, and let's honestly just take another Lost in Lajara. We're just lost in the sauce right now. Oh man, these draws are pretty rough. Are we going to just mill ourselves? We're halfway through our library and have not found a Ogertak yet, but I'll be honest, guys, I don't think the opponent wins next turn unless they just have a combo that makes us lose just half our life. They could have an infinite life drain, life gain combo, and there it is. That is just so unfortunate. Well, we do have enough blockers in the air. Man, we were so close, yeah. Opponent just has this just infinite combo. That is so unfortunate. I actually cannot believe it. All right, that is unfortunate. All right, we're actually going to switch over to this Mutant Sacrifice deck that is playing with Shredder as well. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. You guys enjoying this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Haven't really been enjoying a ton of the new cards lately. Opponent gets to go first, which is unfortunate. And we are recording. So we can keep this hand. We get the Elf on turn 1. Elf on the shelf. And then we definitely get Super Shredder down on turn 2. Opponent's got the crazy art style for Hollowed Fountain. No need to shock in Overgrown Tomb. And here comes Super Shredder and probably eats a counter spell from the looks of it. And we can punch in with the little elf. The Ooze, I think, is the card we'll look to get down next turn. It's kind of the only play we can make because this opponent is just going to drop a land and pass the turn, doing what everyone loves the most. And actually, let's go with Bebop. And the opponent goes with a Consult the Star Charts. And then we can punch in with the little elf. Opponent might honestly just go with a Day of Judgment. And I think that is our cue to just bounce on out of there. Definitely not going to beat an Azorius controlled deck with the hand that we had. So that is unfortunate, but you guys probably don't want to sit through a slog of a game. That honestly might be my least favorite thing to play against, is just Azorius control. What is your guys' least favorite thing to play against? I know right now the Badgermole Cup deck, really popular. The Landfall package, really popular. I'll be honest though, I do kind of like big green stompy creatures. So I don't mind Badgermole Cub that much. It is a really broken deck, don't get me wrong. This is a pretty nice hand. Let's go with Overgrown Tomb. And then, well, I guess the other deck that's really popular right now is the Is It Lesson deck, which looks like that might be what we're playing against. But here, I like this combo a lot because whenever we put a +1 counter on a creature, we get to put an additional +1 counter. Even though the opponent does have the Cryogen Relic, that's interesting. And I was going to say, I really hope we draw a green source because then we can go with Innkeeper's Talent. And we can actually just level it up right away. Put 2 counters on Michelangelo, and he does have Ward 1 right now. So, going to start just smacking the opponent. And then next turn, we'll definitely get down Genova. Put a counter, just one counter on her. Opponent could have a counter spell. But no, it looks like they're going to sack this one to stun our Michelangelo, is what it looks like. That's fine. They get to draw a card. Oh, we definitely ordered that wrong. We want the counters to go on Genova first because, look, she's... Oh, no, we did order it correctly. Look, we put an extra counter on her, so now Michelangelo goes up to 7. Oh, the opponent chose not to pay the Ward 1 to tap us down, so they just took a massive hit right there. Yikes, opponent, you are in trouble. Duskrow's Reliquary. I think Michelangelo, that's fine. You have to pay the Ward 1. And then what we can do is we will shock this one in. And then we can go with Mutant Man for 1, 2, 3. The activated abilities of our tokens are reduced, so we can just crack all of these for free right now. So Genova goes up to 4. She goes up to 5. She goes up to 6. She goes up to 7. And then we'll put a nice counter on her with Innkeeper's Talent. And we will also pump up our Mutagen Man with a ton of counters. Yeah, he goes up to 10. So opponent's down to 2. They can never shock in a land again. They have to pay the Ward 1, which they just cannot do. So yeah, this opponent just got absolutely bounced. Like, insanely hard. GG. That was a clean game. That was a clean game indeed. Oh, was I not recording that Yuna deck? It's unfortunate. We are recording now, though, right? Yeah, we are recording. We are live from the garden. All right, we keep going to Super Shredder. That was a really clean game. That was probably the best game I had so far. Welcome, welcome. Any new homies in chat? Any new homies in chat? This hand I don't think we can keep. Yeah, we'll take a mulligan there. This hand looking a little bit better. I'm going to hope that the opponent isn't doing any graveyard shenanigans, even though we don't have any colored mana, so this is actually maybe a little bit of a yikes moment. There it is. It does provide the green for us, which is nice. Oh, opponent's an elemental deck. Yikes. Let's go with Mutant. And then honestly, let's just get Bebop down. We will get Bebop down. Opponent will probably choose to transform this one. Maha. That's interesting. That's a really cool creature. I still think I want to do it like this, though. Let's go with the Basilisk Collar. And then we will equip it to this one. And then we will punch in. Discard a card. Let's get rid of Bebop. Opponent does take 7 damage. We gain 7 life, which is pretty nice. Do they have like a Iroh's Demonstration that deals 1 damage to each creature? No, they just have a Sunder Flock, which just bounces everything back. That is unfortunate. Basilisk Collar stays, which is nice. Opponent punches in for 6, so we're down to 21. Did find a land, so I think we just redeploy our guys again. Opponent will need another Sunder Flock. Which, of course, they have it, so opponent gets us. GG. GG go next, as they say. Yeah, the Elemental deck. Elemental deck's pretty good, or so I've been told. Yeah, I really haven't seen... Well, that's not true. I have seen people playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. There's this artifact deck with, like, this dinosaur card. That's pretty popular. The Cool But Rude, that... Is it no, it's an enchantment that just slots so perfectly into the Is It Lesson deck is pretty crazy. So there's definitely some popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards out there for sure. All right, opponent gets to go first. That is a little teensy bit unfortunate, but we will try this hand. Let's see our play line. It's Elf on turn 1. We can get the Ooze on turn 2. Azorius Control. Don't know if I want to play against that. Ooh, Bebop is pretty nice. Let's go with the Ooze. And we can punch in for 1. Just smack the opponent. And then maybe we look to get the Phoenix Fleet airship down. Opponent does shock that land in to go with a Silent Hull Creeper. Michelangelo is actually a really nice draw, so I think we go with him. And then we can put a counter on him. And then we get to put 2 counters on him, which is really nice. And no attacks. An opponent does get to attack in. And we can't block that card. Oh, are they just going to mill half our library? They might honestly just mill half our library right now. Yeah, they do. For 2 mana, that's crazy. Alright, and they still have 2 mana to work with, and it's the River Turn Monument, so they got the turn 4 win. I cannot believe it. Because I don't think we can deal 17 damage to them. Basilisk Collar doesn't do anything for us. We can do this for 3. And then we can get rid of... Can we not do their graveyard? I would like to do their graveyard. All right, and then we can activate all these. I think... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how powerful Michelangelo gets. Nah, it's only 2 at a time. So this is 9. Dude, this is insane. Turn 4 mill. Bro. Oh. We were punching in turn 4 for 13 damage, but they're just going to mill us out. I cannot believe it. Oh. Unfortunate. I'll be honest, that's the first time that's happened to me. I think on day 1 of the new set, I definitely got milled out. Or no, did I get milled out? I played the mill deck, and I played, I think, 2 mirror matches, but, I mean... I guess it still technically is the first week of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set, so... Alright, opponent goes first. This, unfortunately, is a hand we can't keep because we only have 1 land. Even though we do have the elf. You know what? I'm going to try it. This is a really risky keep. Yo, Jag. Which card are you talking about? Because, I mean, we kind of popped off with Michelangelo right there. And the Ooze Man, where the tokens cost 1 less to activate. All right, we did draw a land, which is nice. But if you're talking about that mill card, yeah, indeed, it is pretty crazy. It is indeed pretty crazy. And then the question we need to ask ourselves, we are up against the Is It Lesson deck, most likely. I think we do it like this, right? We get down Obsessive Pursuit. Oh, wait, no. We don't have any black mana? We don't have double black mana, so that's my bad. Opponent even has a counter spell, so that sucks. But we can at least get down the Collar, and then next turn we'll definitely remove Gran. Yeah, the mill card is rough to go up against. I agree. And I mean, that the opponent literally had to have the Monument to Endurance. I think if they didn't have the Monument to Endurance, I think we could have maybe won, even though they do definitely play removal. They could have removed our Michelangelo. Oh, when we hit another land drop, that's amazing. So, Gran, we are just going to remove you. No questions asked. No questions asked whatsoever. And then we could get Mutagen Man down for 1. I think we will. We'll create 1 token. Is it another It'll Quench Ya? It is. All right, so that's 2 of those down. And then next turn, do we go with the Phoenix Fleet Airship? We don't really have anything to sack, though. Ooh, the Ooze is pretty nice. Yeah, we're going to go with the Ooze, and then we're going to start taking their lessons out of their graveyard. So give me that. It'll Quench Ya. You don't need those lessons in your graveyard, homie. Opponent does have a burn spell. That's fine. They are down to just 2 cards in hand. And, oh my gosh, they can activate that one right away. Dude, that Accumulate Wisdom is such a busted card as well. When we don't have 4 mana anymore, actually, they go with Stock Up. This is 1 to activate, right? Yeah. Opponent has 2 mana to work with. There is an elf, which is nice. I guess we do go with the elf. Go with the little elf. And then we can equip this. Opponent probably has another burn spell, but we'll go ahead and end the turn. Probably look to blow up our elf. Now they go with an Accumulate Wisdom. Can we take a lesson out of the graveyard? 1, 2, 3. I think we can. Now they don't have 3 lessons in the graveyard. Oh, let's absolutely go. But, I mean, if this opponent... Well, can we race? I was going to say, can we race Monument to Endurance? They're going to blow up the elf? Oh, man, we really need to draw a land. Okay, we at least did. And then we can at least get down Genova. Hopefully she lives. And then, again, we'll look to exile something from the graveyard right now. They probably play Cool but Rude. I call that card Lame and Rude. The new card from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. And it is a Gran. So they get a discount on all their spells. There is Accumulate Wisdom. They have 4 cards in library, or graveyard, I should say. So even when we do remove 1, they still have 3. So they just get a 1 mana, draw 3. Absolutely busted. And then 1 mana, discard, draw 2. I'm honestly just going to go to the next game. This opponent's going to spend 20 minutes on their turn right now. And, I mean, we really don't have much we could do against that. Lesson deck. I'm so tired of seeing it. Even though I did say earlier, I think Azorius Control is my least favorite thing to play against. That lesson deck is probably my... I guess that is my second least favorite thing to play against. They just take so long with each of their turns then, and honestly, just so many of their cards are, yeah, just pushed so hard. I mean, with Gran, all their cards just cost 1 mana. Finally have Super Shredder, which is nice. Finally have Super Shredder. So we can get the little elf on turn 1. Opponent is a Selesnya gamer. And then we get, I guess, Overgrown Tune, and we don't have to tap it. Opponent with Momo, the Friendly Flyer. So they are a flying deck. That one we have to sack something. So yeah, we'll go Overgrown Tomb. We'll get Super Shredder. And then next turn, I think we get the Ooze down. But then we do need a way of sacking those tokens. But then Super Shredder's gonna grow. Do I have a favorite deck to go up against? I do really like combo decks. All right, I'll say it like this. I like when people are playing with, cards that you just don't see that often, Jag. Just because I do play this game quite a bit, so, first few times that you see the lesson deck, or even, another great example is the Kavero deck, like turn 4 Kavero into Bringer of the Last Gift. That is a really cool combo. It's just when everyone plays it over and over and over and over again, that's when it kind of gets like, well, I'm kind of tired of going up against that. So, but this opponent playing with Momo, Friendly Flyer. I love Momo, really cool card, so that's a cool one. Angel decks are pretty cool to go up against. I like the Angel package. Dinosaur decks are pretty cool. I have a dinosaur deck that I think will be this upcoming week. It'll be Friday's video because I already have Monday's video. This mutant sacrifice deck will be Wednesday's video. I might play a dinosaur deck for Friday. What else is a really funny combo? I kind of like colorless decks. With like Ugin, they have that. What's it called? The Wan Shitong's light Planetarium, I think. Or is it like, yeah, it's Wan Shitong's Planetarium. That's a pretty cool one. Super Shredder's legendary. So let's get down a Fountain Port. And then let's go with Deadly Precision. We will sack a artifact, right? Yeah, sack an artifact. I think we get rid of this one because it's giving all of their creatures a little boost. Sack this clue token. That grows our Super Shredder. We remove their creature, which is a permanent leaving the battlefield, so we grow Super Shredder again. We can remove their eagle from the graveyard. And then we can crack this mutagen token to put a +1 on Super Shredder. This is a permanent leaving the battlefield, so that's 2 counters put there. And then we can sack this clue token to draw a card. That is a permanent leaving the battlefield, so we get another +1 counter put on Super Shredder. And then since we sacked 3 things, we get to put 3 counters on Super Shredder. And since we sacked 3 things, we get lifelink as well. So nice little gain 10 life right there. Nice little combo for you. That's what you call the 1-2 punch. That's a little 1-2 punch. We also have a Michelangelo. Also gets to create those mutagen tokens. So yeah, opponent's popping off with Momo. 4-power Momo. What is your favorite deck to go up against, Jag? They do have another one of those eagles. Nine damage, that is a lot. Can the opponent just finish this off next turn? Mayhaps. Can we sack 3 things? I'm not sure. Okay, let's start with this. We'll get rid of Deadly Precision. I don't think we can sack 3 things, which is unfortunate, so maybe if we draw a removal spell? Just a land, that sucks. I think the opponent's actually going to get us. Well, they have to double block right there. No, they don't have 10 damage in the air. Okay, so yeah, then let's go with Michelangelo. Oh, and we can actually sack both these mutagen tokens then. Yes, let's absolutely go. I forgot that Michelangelo created the mutagen token, and the Land War Elf does get to put a +1 somewhere. So we've, again, sacked 3 things during our turn, so we get to put 3 extra counters on Super Shredder. He does have 2 blocks, but we get the lifelink, which is really nice. So we have a 23-23 menacing Super Shredder with lifelink. So, yeah. All right, big bop, big smack. And we are back up to 35. And again, that is 2 permanents leaving the battlefield. So nice little 2 extra counters on Super Shredder. Drop it in the bucket, baby. Opponent could definitely have a bounce spell. I mean, they're playing, could honestly be playing with board wipes. Could have Sheltered by Ghosts. Could even just have some bounce spells into the Flood Maw, something like that. That would, you know, reset us a little tiny bit. But even if they remove this Super Shredder, I mean, it's that one meme, you know, where it's like another one. Or the GTA meme where it's like, aw, shit, here I go again. What is the opponent going to do? Ooh, and we found a Genova. That's absolutely amazing. So, yes, we can go with Overgrown Tomb. No need to do anything. We will sack this one. I guess okay, I made a mistake right there. I should have had this one come in untapped. Because with the Ooze, we can exile a card from their graveyard to create the Mutant or Mutagen token, and then with 1 extra mana left over, whether that be from our Land War Elf or the land that should be untapped, we could have put another counter somewhere. So that's my bad a little bit, and we would definitely put the counter on Genova. Because Genova says we get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control. So we'll put that on Michelangelo, who of course says if 1 or more counters would be put on a creature we control, put twice that many. So 2 counters right there. And we'll punch in with both of them. We'll put a +1 on Michelangelo. So that's 1 counter. Of course, he adds 2. Opponent is double forced to block our Super Shredder. So Michelangelo's getting through for 5 damage. So opponent is going down to 1 HP and a dream. Of course, they do have all their mana untapped, so bounce spell, kill spell. I guess a creature that they could flash in could do it for them as well, because then they double block and block Michelangelo. But yeah, opponent, that was just a little bit too much for you. And yeah, you guys can see just how quickly Super Shredder can just grow out of hand like crazy, in combination with Obsessive Pursuit, making those clue tokens for us. The Ooze, creating those Mutagen tokens, and I really like these Mutagen tokens because you get to sacrifice it and put a +1 counter on a creature we control. And of course, Super Shredder says when something gets sacked, put a +1 on him. So then for 1 mana, we get to put 2 counters on Super Shredder. So yeah, that was a surgical game. This guy looking a little bit like Wolverine with those Wolverine claws, just like surgery, just shot, slice the opponent up. GG. All right, Jag. The Shredder is super dope. Yeah, that's a pretty funny wordplay. All right, and you say you're still new to MTG? Yeah, so I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. Whenever you see a new combo, that is always interesting to see. And again, I don't know how new you are to the game, but like if you like looking at really cool combos, the Cavero. Let me just, oh, sorry. We are recording. Okay. I don't know if you've played against it or not. I don't even know what I want to say right now to Jag. Oh yeah, I was going to show him this one. Do you know this guy, Jag? Have you seen anyone play this card against you? Cavero, the Mind Bitten. Do you know what he does? Because when I saw this combo for the first time as well, I was like, oh, that's so awesome. But if you don't know what he does, you can see it says this guy can enter as a copy of a creature card in a graveyard. So then people combo that. Okay, yeah, so let's add Cavero here. We'll get rid of the lands. People combo that guy with this guy right here. This Vampire Demon, 8 mana, you get a flying, Vampire Demon, 6 power, 6 toughness, and it says, when this creature enters, if you cast him, so you have to cast him from your hand, you cannot reanimate him with a card like this. This card you maybe do know. You just do Zom in black. For 4 mana, I should have maybe just typed it out. You probably know this card right here. Zombify, return a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield. If you zombify Bringer of the Last Gift, you're not casting him from your hand. So then you don't get the second part of this guy's text that says, if you do cast this guy, then everyone sacrifices all creatures on the battlefield, and every single creature in the graveyard goes onto the battlefield. So this is like a board wipe, wipes out all the creatures, and it pulls back all creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield instantly. Since you are casting Kavero, you can have him enter as this guy, which the game, see, I guess that is technically the rules. They see that as you casting this guy, Bringer of the Last Gift. So on turn 4, you can technically cast Bringer of the Last Gift, and then leading up to turn 4, people play with just a ton of cards to mill some creatures into the graveyard. So they will play with a card like this, for instance. We need to take black away. Can I not spell tear if I do? Oh, it's because I'm on 4 mana. Yeah, so they'll play a lot of cards, or just think of other big creatures. Valgavoth is another really powerful creature, 9 power. And then they'll play with a bunch of cards. I do grab. Yeah, so like on turn 1, 2, and 3, they will play a bunch of cards that have this effect. Mill 4 cards. So then they hope to mill some of their creature cards in the graveyard. You kind of want the Bringer of the Last Gift to be in the graveyard. So then on turn 4, they play Kavero the Mind Bitten. They bring it back as Bringer of the Last Gift. That looks like you're casting him, so then he wipes the entire board. All the creatures on the board die, and then all the creatures that are in the graveyard come onto the battlefield. So I'm really happy for you that you have not seen that combo yet, because it is absolutely nasty. It is disgusting, and it is decently popular. So, yeah. Yeah, we see Grandpa Hillbilly is here. Hello, hello. Hope your grandson is doing okay. Happy to have you here, buddy. I would ask you, how are you enjoying the new set? I caught one of your streams the other day. Was kind of just lurking though, and I saw you were playing with some of the new cards. So, yeah, we were just talking with, yeah, we were just talking with Jag, the Kavero deck, the Bringer of the Last Gift. It is rough. Hillbilly is loving the new set. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah. So, you actually just missed a really good game, Hillbilly. We were playing, and we'll actually continue playing it right now. We were playing with this one. This Mutant Sacrifice deck with Super Shredder. It's actually a lot of fun. And we are recording. So yeah, that was a really long way to hopefully answer your question, Jag, of what decks do I like to see. I honestly, you know, I think Hillbilly can attest to this as well. He might back me up on this one. We play the game so much that, yeah, like this guy, I have a feeling he's playing Badgemole Cub. Yeah, it's turn 1 Land War Elf into turn 2 Badgemole Cub into Ouroboros, into Craterhoof Behemoth. And you just start to see these kind of same decks over and over and over again. And that's when it's like, oh, it starts out as an interesting combo, seeing how people, you know, came up with it, how people brewed it. That all looks really, really cool. But then when you see it over and over again, it gets kind of like, what are we doing here? And it gets kind of tedious to play against it. The question here, chat, is what do we go with? I like Michelangelo. Can I hit the opponent with thinking? Because Michelangelo, when we put counters on him, which we can do with Innkeeper's Talent, he'll grow pretty quickly. Super Shredder is also a really nice creature, and I think we actually will go with Super Shredder. We are going to attack. Opponent's not blocking with his elf. I already know that, because he wants to play Badgermole Cub into another 2-drop, most likely. Oh, it's a Mossborn Hydra deck. Okay, so that's pretty cool as well. And the reason why I said we're going Super Shredder is because I had a feeling they were going to go with Badgemole Cub, which just absolutely has to be answered. Mossborn Hydra is just another creature that just on sight, you have to answer it right away. So we will tap our Elf and the land to go Innkeeper's Talent, and then Deadly Precision, sack a creature to get rid of Mossborn Hydra. Farewell, Landwar Elf. You did your job dutifully. That is a creature leaving, so Super Shredder gets a counter. They have a permanent leaving, so Super Shredder gets a counter, and Innkeeper's Talent gets to put a counter right away. So that, I think, is how we were going to play that turn. Opponent could, of course... So they're definitely a landfall deck. Tifa, Chocobo, Bristly Bill. Honestly, still Badgermole Cub deck or Ouroboros. Definitely creatures to consider as well. And indeed, it is the young Badgermole Cub. Missed a land drop, which, I'll be honest, that is pretty brutal because the Mutagen Man would be a really fun one to get down. I think for right now... Honestly, I think we just get down the Ooze. And then I think we just have to take their Nature's Rhythm right away. And then put a counter on Super Shredder. Smack the opponent for a decent chunk. And I hope we can draw a land, because then we can go for Mutagen Man, create one token. And it is Ouroboros. Yeah. So this opponent, Mr. Original right here. Mr. Original right here. And we miss a land drop. We don't even have enough to equip the Basilisk. Yikes, this is getting rough, guys. Are we just dead next turn? It's 2 counters, that's 5. No, we're not dead next turn, but it is getting kind of close, to be honest. I think we're going to have to race the opponent. We are just going to have to race the opponent. Ooh, opponent is actually forced to block, so he is losing his 2 most prized creatures right now. Let's absolutely go. He's not going to be happy about this. I love that Super Shredder has Menace. Wow. Sacking those tokens came in clutch right there. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really, really good game. Yeah, I guess we can look at the deck real quick. Yeah, so this deck's name, Mutant Sack. Yeah, Hillbilly, if you haven't tried it out yet, Super Shredder, really, really fun card. Basically, whenever anything leaves the battlefield, whether it be on the opponent's side or our side of the battlefield, and whether that be on the opponent's turn or our turn, you get to put a counter on Super Shredder. I really like this Michelangelo card. He gets to create one of those mutagen tokens, and I'm really liking these mutagen tokens. You can sack it to put a counter on a creature. Of course, when you sack a token, Super Shredder sees that as a permanent leaving, so he gets a counter put on him, and then you still get to put the +1 counter on him, which is really nice. If we have Michelangelo on the battlefield, we can see it says if 1 or more counters are put on a creature, you get to put that many counters +1 instead, so that combos really nicely. Mutagen Man, the Living Ooze, cast him for 2 mana, and then hopefully, you know, you can pump him up for 2 or 3 extra mana, because then he creates that many mutagen tokens. And we can see from his text, it says the activated abilities of artifact tokens we control cost 1 less. So then you can just sack these mutagen tokens for free. Fable Passage. Yeah, that's, you know, that would actually be really good. We could do that right away, because indeed Super Shredder is pretty good against the landfall package, because they sack a land each turn. So you know what? I think I'll just go ahead and add that right away. Let's just do Passage. Great, great catch right there. Let's just throw 4 of those bad boys in there. Well, Blooming Marsh. We are honestly a pretty aggressive deck. Let's go 2 down there. And I guess let's just go 2 down on the bird. That's how we're going to do that. Continuing along with the combo, the Ooze. I really like this card right now because it's kind of decent against the Is it less in deck? To an extent, because you can exile a card from a graveyard. So this is actually really good against that Bringer of the Last Gift Cavero combo package that I was talking about. But when you do exile a card, again, you create those mutagen tokens. So yeah, honestly, like I said, I haven't been the biggest fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set so far, but I have really been enjoying these creatures so far. It's a lot of fun. And then bringing it back to a older card from the Final Fantasy set, Genova. For 4 mana, we get her down. And at the beginning of combat, we get to put a counter equal to her power onto one target creature. So, of course, if you can pump her power up with some of these mutagen tokens or an Innkeeper's Talent, that's pretty nice. And whenever a mutant we control dies during our turn, we get to draw cards equal to that creature's power. And then, of course, we are playing in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. So, I mean, Mutagen Man, he is a mutant. Michelangelo is a mutant. And Super Shredder is a mutant as well. So, that's honestly kind of the package we're going with. Obsessive Pursuit makes those clue tokens, which, of course, we can sacrifice as well. Innkeeper's Talent puts counters on things. Deadly Precision, pretty good removal if you do have something to sacrifice, whether that be a clue token. Ideally is what you want to sacrifice. I think maybe you were here for just the last game we played where we did have to sack our Llanowar Elf to get rid of the Mossborn Hydra. But again, you know, that is our that's our Llanowar Elf leaving the battlefield, and then the opponent's Mossborn Hydra leaving the battlefield. All that pumps up Super Shredder. So, and I'm trying it with the Phoenix Fleet Airship because, yeah, whenever something dies, we do get to make a copy of this one. But honestly, I don't think that the Phoenix Fleet Airship is actually really needed. Honestly, seems like a more slower game plan, maybe more grindy, which, you know, might actually come into play. So, but yeah, thanks for the idea with Fabled Passage. So, let's go ahead and rock with it. Maybe get another game or two. I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend, though. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, having a good time. Happy that you're spending some of it with me, looking at, some of these new cards. So yeah, Hillbilly, if you have any of those cards and you're going to stream later, yeah, maybe a small idea for you. Maybe check out the Super Shredder deck. I think you would enjoy playing it, because I've had quite a bit of fun playing it as well. Unfortunately, opponent gets to go first, and we only have 1 land, so that is a easy mully. And then this one, I think we keep it. And then the question is, what do we get rid of? Obsessive Pursuit does create those tokens. Bebop is a really powerful creature. I do like Genova. I think we do get rid of Obsessive Pursuit, even though... Yeah, I think we definitely get rid of it because we actually don't have any black mana right now. Probably find it along the way. Probably find it. Yeah, we found a Cavern of Souls, so we can go ahead and name Mutant with that one. And then I think we look to get Michelangelo down. Yeah, here's maybe where the Phoenix Fleet Airship can come in handy if we are up against an Azorius control gamer, which I think it actually is looking to be a Simulacrum Synthesizer deck, which I'll be honest, I don't think we really beat that one. We have no type of artifact removal. Maybe we could race them with Bebop, though. Ooh, they're splashing in red. That's probably for the Fire Crystal. And no, they are a weapons manufacturing deck. That's interesting. That is interesting. Live from the garden. All right, opponent. Are you playing with the Rottenmouth Viper? They're looking to sack. So they look to create a bunch of these munition tokens. How do we do this? I think we go with the Ooze. And then we sack this mutagen token right now. Put a single 1/1 counter on Michelangelo, but he of course says if a counter is put somewhere, you get to put an additional counter as well. So he's up to 3 power right now. And then next turn, honestly, I think we get down Genova. But we do have to be a little bit careful. Opponent most definitely playing with, you know, some type of board wipes. Could even be a Pinnacle Star Cage. Oh, it's just another weapons manufacturing. And they need an artifact to hit the battlefield, right? Yeah, whenever a non-token artifact enters, they get to create the munition token, and they're just doing that for some card draw. All right, well, then let's go ahead and take that one out of their library right away. Create that mutagen token. Obsessive Pursuit, pretty nice as well. Don't get me wrong, Genova would be nice, but yeah, let's go with Bebop. And then let's honestly just pump this guy up. Put 2 counters on him, so he goes up to a 9-7, and we have a 3-3. Next turn, we'll get Genova down. I can dig it. Opponent, you gonna wipe the board? Ooh, United Battlefront. I guess they could have quite a few artifacts that can just answer our 2 creatures right now, so this is a little bit rough. Well, what does this one do? New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle card? Create a colorless robot. Okay. And then do they have 2 mana left over? They do not. Unless this land already entered this. They played a land for turn, right? Ooh, that is really rough. That Dusk Rose Reliquary. All right, well, let's go ahead and remove the United Battlefront. Oh, could they not take anything from us? Oh, they do, right? Oh, that is really unfortunate. Ooh, we do get to create some mutagen tokens, though, which is pretty nice. Could sack all of these. Go with Requiem Hex to blow this one up, just to clear a path for us. Kind of wish we were drawing a land. I think we have to remove this guy just to clear a path for us, and then we will get this guy down. So unfortunately, we're not putting any... let's save this for the opponent's turn. Not putting any counters on our creatures right now. And let's see what the opponent is able to cook up right now. They do have the Pinnacle Star Cage. That at least doesn't get rid of our Bebop, but that does basically answer everything else. Yikes, that is really rough. And that is an artifact, right? Yeah, so they get 2 of those munition tokens. Well, we do get our guy back as well, but he's legendary, so that's also really unfortunate. They did get rid of all of their munition tokens as well. Okay, that was maybe a little bit desperate from the opponent. Of course, when those leave the battlefield, he just gets to blast us down. All right, yeah, I think the opponent got us. That is really unfortunate. I don't really see how we get out of this. We're down to 12. Opponent's also down to 12. They create more of those. And of course, they just have another one in the top quarter of their deck. That you love to see. But Super Shredder, let's go ahead and pump him up a little bit. Let's pump him up a little bit so he goes up to 5 toughness. So they do need to get rid of 3 munition tokens to deal with him. Pinnacle Star Cage does also answer him, though. And we do know that they play with the Dusk Rose Reliquary, so... One of those is a land they shock in. Interesting. They really want 6 mana available. Legion Extruder. They're just going to be able to sack all these tokens. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think we can keep up with this opponent. United Battlefront? I mean, there is a chance he misses. There is a chance that he misses. Even though we haven't seen him play anything mana value 4 or greater, so I guess he could see another United Battlefront. So this opponent either hit something amazing or something terrible. They just get to bounce. Yeah. I don't think we can really keep up with this opponent. Even though he has no more cards left. Oh, he's going to return the Pinnacle Star Cage. That is honestly wild. And then he's just going to blow us up with all of those. But can we finish off the opponent? He is all tapped out. We can remove our Michelangelo. That is a little bit unfortunate. And he gets the Dusk Rose back. All right, yeah, this opponent just absolutely cooked our bacon. That was kind of wild. And kind of unfortunate. It's all good, though. Onward and upward. We'll get one more game. One more game for the road. Maybe we can get 2 more games. See? All right, we gotta go first, and we can keep this one. So it's a little elf on turn 1. The little elf who could. We'll have to take a little bit of damage. But it's all good. Opponent got the Venta Black. Look at this. Just pure black sleeves. Like I'm looking into a black hole. I think it's just a visual bug. Visual bug from the new set. Come on, opponent, are you here? Don't think the opponent's here. It's a little bit unfortunate. All right, well, then I can talk to you guys, which I love doing. I love talking to you guys. It is kind of funny how on some battlefields there's like a ton of things you can interact with, and then on other battlefields it's like I'm just tapping on nothing. Not sure. We still are live, right? Let me check. Yeah, my thing says we're live. Dropping no frames. Okay, yeah, so it's the opponent who isn't here. Well, free win, potentially. And he is here. All right, opponent. The next turn we can get down Obsessive Pursuit. And another little elf. Ooh, and there's the Phoenix Fleet airship. All right, maybe we'll see that one start to put in some work for us. This is 2 mana to sack, right? Yeah. Did I get the pizza time? Yo, Fearless is here. What's up, buddy? Opponent is playing Super Shredder themselves as well. That is awesome. The Pizza Time sticker, I think I did get it. All right, let's go with Mutant. And then I think we do get down Genova. And we'll put a little counter there. No attacks. Opponent might have some removal, but they are rocking with the same deck that we are. They also have the little elf. On there is the Reckoning Hex. That is really unfortunate because that is going to grow Super Shredder. Hopefully we can find our piece of removal because Super Shredder just goes so insanely hard when we try and sack these. It just helps this guy. Oh, no. All right, we still will get this one down. And it is a crew cost of 1. All right, opponent does need another piece of removal, which hopefully he doesn't have. Requiting Hex does not answer Genova. Fearless, how are you doing, my man? Opponent has Mikey and Leo. Whenever you put a counter, draw a card. Only triggers once per turn. All right, opponent, you got it. Opponent has just 1 mana to work with. It could be a Requiting Hex, and it looks like it is a Requiting Hex. We will crew up. Opponent does get to put a counter there, so he goes up to 3. And he gets to draw a card. Interesting inclusion. Opponent's not attacking, though. Alright, it's our turn. Oh, Mutagen Man. Yikes, not looking good for us. So we can do this for 1. Create the Mutagen token, and then sack the Mutagen token that unfortunately does grow their own Super Shredder. And they do get to draw a card off that, which is wild. We can't sack this. Oh, normally it costs 2 to sack this, but Mutagen Man says that the activated abilities cost 1 less. So we will... Maybe I should have done that on the opponent's turn, but it's all good. Draw a card. Deadly Precision, so we will be able to remove Super Shredder next turn. We will go ahead and grow our Mutagen Man, and since we did sack something, we do get to create a token copy of the Phoenix Fleet Airship. Phoenix Fleet Airship, so now we have 2 of them down, and we do have Deadly Precision. Yeah, so this Mikey and Leo, that is interesting. I mean, card draw is kind of nice, but I think once this deck can get going, I mean, it starts to go really, really hard. It does start to go really, really hard. Yeah, I think the opponent's like, well, I can't really attack in because we can crew up pretty easily. Opponent with the Overgrown Tomb. Mutagen Man. I guess they could remove that one with Requiting Hex, since that is mana value 2 or less. And there it is. We will definitely go ahead and crew up, though. Opponent, oh man, just their Super Shredder is just growing out of control like crazy. And does the opponent attack in? Does the opponent attack in? That is the question. It does not look like he does. He's scared. He's shaking in his boots. Did draw a land, which I guess is kind of nice. Deadly Precision, you already know. Sack a thing. Auto pay. Get rid of this one. Super Shredder gets to put a counter on him. They get to draw a card, but then he does get hit with the Deadly Precision. And then the Ooze. Honestly, I think we just do this for 1. And then this Mutagen token we can sack for free. No need to spend any mana to do that. And then we can look to draw a card on their turn. Since we did sack something this turn, we create 2 copies with the Phoenix Fleet Airship. No attacks from us. End the turn. Oh, we're popping off, guys. Don't call it a comeback. Opponent was kind of beating us down for a little bit. It is a little bit unfortunate that Phoenix Fleet Airship says at the beginning of your end step. It's too bad that it's not at every single end step. That is a little bit unfortunate. And I think now we could probably start attacking the opponent down. But what does Phoenix Fleet Airship say? As long as you control 8 or more, this is a vehicle, is an artifact creature. So then they are just all creatures. So honestly, I think if we just stay defensive for a turn or 2, I think we'll be good to go. Opponent does have Bebop. Reminds me of that one song. Bop, 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 bop. Jupiter, joop, 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 bop. All right, opponent has 2 mana to work with. Could definitely be a food token sack. It'd be another Super Shredder, but they would have slammed that one by now. And it is just another little elf. And I think that's it from the opponent. So let us go ahead and draw a card. Oh, another Mutagen Man, Living Ooze. Let's absolutely go. So we're going to do it like this. He is legendary. That's okay because 2 mana plus 3 is how we're going to do it. We're going to keep this one, of course. Create 3 tokens, draw a bunch of cards, and we haven't played a land for turn. Interesting. And then we will crew up this one. And then we will just pump this one up. And when we sack 3 things, Obsessive Pursuit gives our thing lifelink. So then we will gain quite a bit of life. And we might as well sack one of these right now. Draw a card. Requiem Hex, kind of nice. Put a bunch of counters on this Phoenix Fleet airship. And then punch in. Oh, maybe I should not have punched in with both of them, though. Wait, but we're going to have 8 airships, actually. All right, and they're actually blocking with their Bebop. Oh, they have to sack something as well, or discard a card. That's pretty funny. All right, and we're gaining 14 life, so we're going up to 22. Opponent's down to 6. Since we did sack something, we also get to draw a bunch of cards right now. Nice little reload. Create a bunch of airships, and since we do have 8 of them, they are all creatures that can block right now. Drop off a card. That's an easy land, and I think we got him, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't even need Super Shredder right there, so wow, I actually am happy with the Phoenix Fleet airship. Now, a few of the previous games, I was like, well, it feels like it's a little bit too slow, especially with how fast the meta is right now, but I guess when you start to grind, when you really start to grind it out, then, I mean, yeah, these ones did come in clutch. So, yeah, that was a good game. That was a clean one, yeah. All right, Fearless. You said you've also been trying it out. So this is going to be Wednesday's video. Post a video on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for you guys. And yeah, so this is the deck that I've been rocking. I've played around with it a little bit. Grandpa Hillbilly said that we should add the Fabled Passage, which, I mean, that works so nicely because we do sack it. So that works really nicely with Super Shredder. And like I said, I have included the Phoenix Fleet airship, which I'll be honest, I was a little bit low on, but I mean, that last game, that just convinced me right there. I think 2 copies is probably where you want to be at. So if you still are here, Fearless, what have you been rocking with your Golgari Sacrifice deck? What creatures are you rocking with? Because, I mean, our main is on being unblockable big stuff. How do you make your stuff unblockable? So I guess Super Shredder is probably the guy. And he does have Menace, which is really nice. That already is kind of hard to block. Mutagen Man. You get to make those Mutagen tokens. And then, of course, they cost 1 less to sacrifice. So then when you do sacrifice them, you put a counter on Super Shredder and then the Mutagen token itself. Yeah, add counters and go nuts. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to do as well. Honestly, Genova helps with that. The Ooze makes those tokens. Michelangelo helps with that. Innkeeper's Talent helps with those tokens. Yeah, Hillbilly's going to be streaming soon as well. You should honestly try this deck out, Hillbilly. It is a lot of fun, and it is playing with a lot of new cards. I mean, the Ooze, really nice tech card for some graveyard stuff. So yeah. I mean, the opponent we were just playing against was a little bit of a mirror match. It looked like they were looking to go with some card draw, which that can help in kind of more grindy matchups. But I guess in a roundabout way, Genova helps us with the card draw, and Obsessive Pursuit, when you sack those clue tokens, helps out with that as well. So I did include the Basilisk Collar, just 2 copies of that one as well, because if you can equip this to Super Shredder when he gets really big, then, I mean, he does have Death Touch and Lifelink, which is pretty nice. So, all right, I think I'll go for, we'll try and get one more game for you guys. We will try and get one more game for you guys. Go ahead and hit that record button. Mutant BFF on the board. I don't know that card. Mutant BFF. Best friends forever? Or butt friends forever? Best friends forever. Mutant best friends forever. What does that card do? What does Mutant BFF do? Michelangelo, Mutant BFF. Alright, I'll have to look into that card. Alright, Hillbilly's got a few ideas that he's cooking with. That old noggin of his. Ooh, that is a cool combo. That does... Yeah, that does work really great with Menace. That maybe does seem a little bit like a win more type of scenario, though. Alright, guys, this is a tricky one. No black mana to work with. We do have Michelangelo and the Ooze, which needs double green as well. I think we take a mulligan. Alright, this one's a lot better. One Obsessive Pursuit can definitely get out of there. Opponent's also got the Black Hole sleeves. And opponent is also some Golgari. Oh, we found the Super Shredder. Red alert, red alert. Found the Super Shredder, guys. Shared roots. So opponent looking to ramp. The question is, what are they ramping into? Something big, something scary. Another Super Shredder. That's some nice backup. And then no 1 mana play from us, so Overgrown Tomb can come in untapped. Don't need to take any unnecessary damage. And then next turn, I guess we get Genova down. But let's see what we draw. Opponent with the Earthbender Ascension, so probably Landfall deck. Wonder if they're playing with the Sapling. We don't have any removal. Opponent. Ooh, opponent's going aggressive, which I can respect it. Opponent. 2 or fewer, which we have. So here is a Genova. Nice little counter on Mr. Shredder himself. And we will smack the opponent for 2. And then next turn for us, I'm pretty sure it's Obsessive Pursuit. Opponent with a removal spell. I mean, they are playing with black, so kill spells definitely on the table. Ooh, that's rough, buddy. But, I mean, at least we have another one. They do get a Surveil. And we found another one. All right. All right, the deck just wants us to play Super Shredder. And they are playing with the Sapling Nursery into a land. Yikes, yeah, this one's going to be rough. I'm not sure how we beat this one. Fountain Port. That's 2 mana to do that. Also just 2 mana to do it naturally as well. All right. Another Obsessive Pursuit. Trading 2 of those tokens every turn, but then the question is, do we have a way of sacrificing them? I'm not 100% sure. There's Bebop. So we do get to put +2 on our Super Shredder, punch in for 5, because he does have Menace. Well, now it's looking like that one card, the Mutant BFF, would come in clutch if creatures can't be blocked by more than 1. Opponent's got the Fused Green Shell. And do they just go infinite right now? Create the Sapling token that has toughness greater than their power. So get to put a land on the battlefield that triggers the Sapling Nursery. And the loop just goes on and on. They do sack a land. So we do grow Super Shredder. Yeah, I don't see how we beat this deck. Well, that's all they found. Take 6, so we are just dead on the crackback. I really don't think there's much we can do. Reckoning Hex doesn't really help us out. Can remove one of these. You get a counter on Super Shredder. And then sack this one to draw a card. Little elf. Yeah, I don't see how we come out on top on this one, which is unfortunate. I do like Sapling Nursery. That is a cool card. Oh, Ice-Till Explorer. Yeah, they're just gonna... They might be able to just mill their entire deck right now. Alright. Formation Breaker, another card. Commonly overlooked. It's a 2-drop, 1 green. Yeah, that is interesting, yeah. Formation Break. 2-drop. It becomes a 3-3. Alright. I don't know if Jag is still here. Jag was a new MTG player. If you're here, Jag, this is another combo that the opponent has. Ice-Till Explorer with Sapling Nursery in combination with the Fused Green Shell is pretty powerful. Opponent, they just got us. They got it like that. And the Tarkir set. Okay. We can check it out. Let's look at it. Well, I don't have much time. We'll look at it quickly. Question is, what do we cut from our deck? What do we cut from our Mutants sack deck? We should probably find it, right? There he is, Formation Breaker. Creatures with power less than this dude can't be blocked. War Charger seem relentless. I just don't know what we cut for that card. Because Keeper's Talent for the counters. Could maybe get rid of Basilisk Collar. I don't think he's really doing too much for us right now. You know what? We'll try it. We'll go 2 of these. We'll go with the Formation Breaker. I always love trying out a new card that no one has ever played. Except for Mr. Fearless right here. But yeah, I'll be honest. You could have said, hey, what does Formation Breaker do? Gun to my head, I would not know what that card does. So when you say overlooked, commonly overlooked, commonly is doing a lot of heavy lifting right there. I would say like massively overlooked. I don't think anyone has ever played with that Formation Breaker. We'll rock with him though. Playing against Mr. Garuk himself. Opponent gets to go first. Do have the Formation Breaker. Unfortunately, we have no colored mana. These Fountain Ports for 2 games in a row now have kinda cooking us right now. Yeah, I can definitely see if you have a way of putting counters on that card, he can be really good though. Which, I mean, I guess we do. The mutagen tokens and stuff. So, unfortunately, this one's a mulligan. This one we keep. And I guess it was definitely not the elf I wanted to throw away. I guess it is the Phoenix Fleet Airship. And then elf on turn 1, Mr. Shredder himself on turn 2. Maybe into a removal. Ooh. It's mono blue. Or if it is the lesson deck, I think that might be a big fat RIP to us. Ooh, Michelangelo, also a nice draw, but for sure it is Super Shredder. Thank you, deck, for not tapping my elf. I mean, that's 100% my bad. Of course, auto tapper's always going to tap the lands. It would have been nice to keep a black land open, black mana source open, just in case the opponent played a creature, but I mean, let's be real. It doesn't really look like they are going with a creature deck right now, so we will go with Michelangelo. And it didn't seem like there was a stick there, so let's just sack this mutant token again. I was just telling you guys, I should tap my elf manually myself to keep black mana open for our Requiting Hex, but I mean, it's all good. And I mean, now I should have just attacked with the little elf, so... Oh, this game is going off the rails. It's all good, though. It's all good. That's not even the auto-tapper's fault. I think it always prioritizes... That's not true. Sometimes it will tap a creature if you have a pain land. All right, opponent. Yikes, they did not want anything to do with that that deck, but that was a pretty funny one. All right, let's try and get one more good game, guys. I do have to leave, so hopefully we can get one more good one for you guys. But yeah, that was definitely an auto tapper for the win moment right there. All right, I definitely have a few people here. How is the background music in relation to my sweet, soothing voice? Yeah, no problem, Fearless. Thank you so much for joining us, spending a little bit of your Saturday with us. And yeah, like I said, this will definitely be Wednesday's video. We have Super Shredder, so I mean, we keep it. Okay, glad it's not too loud. Opponent with the starting town. Blooming Marsh for us. Into a Requiting Hex, that is the question. Yeah, Flame Braider. It would be nice to go Super Shredder and then remove this creature, but, I mean, them just having 2 mana available next turn, yeah, we just can't have that. Especially up against the Elemental deck, but, I mean, if they are rocking with Sunderflock, yeah, that's a little bit rough for us. Sunderflock. That does bounce all of our creatures back to our hand, and any counters we have on them do, of course, get removed then. So I think we just look to go aggro. Perhaps smack for 1 damage. I mean, you need to get damage in some way, somehow. An opponent, they got the Ashleen Avatar, this is the creature we just removed. Champion of the Path. That one, ooh, okay. So we go with Mutagen Man. All right, and we are 100% tapping our mana manually because we need double green from Mutagen Man. We will create 1 token. And then Deadly Precision, definitely go ahead and sack the token that we just created. Super Shredder gets a counter put on him. We remove Champion of the Path, so that is another counter put on Mr. Shredder himself. And that is a big smack for 10 damage. Three damage, so we might lose Super Shredder right now, but opponent needs to remove Bebop right now, so Hillbilly doesn't hear any music. Oh, he does have a blocker, though. Oh, and he gains 2 life. That is a yikes moment, but here we got Michelangelo for a nice little +1 on our Mutagen Man. And then we can punch in. Opponent is forced to block with Vibrance. I think we do get rid of Requiting Hex. So opponent is forced to block. And we still have 3 creatures on board. One of them 7 power. Opponent's down to 3 life, so they even have to block this guy who does have trample as well. Opponent does have 6 mana, though. The core, of course, does add some mana for them. They do have a Sunder Flock. Dude, that is crazy that that one counts as a... Is it mana? I thought it was power, though. It is the mana value. So that one, reducing the cost by 3. They barely had enough to cast that. That is crazy. Hopefully we can rebuild our board. Hopefully they don't have another Sunder Flock. I mean, Vibrance would be pretty nasty as well. Honestly, all of their elementals are pretty nasty. Deceit can bounce something back to our hand and then make us discard it. So 3 cards in hand. And, I mean, there it is. Yeah, Deceit bounces Super Shredder and then makes us discard Super Shredder. Oh, we got so close, guys. But unfortunately, I think the opponent is going to pull this one out. They get rid of the Mutagen Man, though. That's interesting. And he attacks with that. Obsessive Pursuit, also another really good draw. All right, well, we're definitely not attacking with Michelangelo. Opponent could punch in for 10 damage right now, but, I mean, they need to keep one guy back to block. They honestly need 2 creatures, because Super Shredder, we can get him up to 3 toughness right now. And I think the opponent knows that, so yeah, they can just bounce him back to our hand. Oh. And he attacks with both? That is crazy, because he needs another creature. He has to have a creature right now. I guess that's not true, because he can actually activate the core right now. Yeah, opponent just gets us. That is really unfortunate. It is this core that really just put in the work for them. I mean, I guess he loses the core right now, but I mean, yeah, he just has these 2 creatures. That, and we have no removal. Oh, so close yet so far away. I cannot believe it. Yeah, because we don't have anything that can stop the Sunder Flock, so... Yeah, opponent got it done. That is crazy that they had Sunder Flock and that the core could reduce the cost. Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts. I can't lie about that. Alright. Alright, I can get one more game in. Win or lose, that will be the final one then. That will be the final one. Yeah, the elemental deck is actually still pretty good. Ooh. Not touch the microphone. Oh, that was a pretty good game, though. All right, opponent goes first. Again, 1 lander, we definitely can't keep that, so that's a mulligan. We'll keep these 6. Let's get rid of Requiting Hex. I think it's the one we get rid of. Maybe a mistake. Ooh, definitely a mistake. Requiting Hex would have been a better removal card to keep, but... Oh, of course, opponent has Deep Cavern Bat. All right, we're going to go to the next one. I want to try and get one more game for you guys before I have to leave. That one was just a blowout. The mulligan going second into a Deep Cavern Bat, taking our only removal spell. Yeah, some games you just know. Some games you just know. Get this set up. All right, we gotta go first. Oh man, our land situation again is unfortunate. It would be nice to keep Fabled Passage. I guess we do keep it. It would be nice to get the elf down though, but we have to name Mutant with this one. Here it is, Mutant. And then Fountain Port into Super Shredder into a cracked Fabled Passage. That is how we are going to do it. No, opponent, it's Super Shredder on Super Shredder Violence. And then here comes Michelangelo. Create that mutagen token. Go ahead and sack a Fabled Passage, which actually helps theirs as well. Ay, that is too funny. Well, opponent's not playing any green, or at least we haven't seen any green yet. So let's see their take on Super Shredder. Could have a Sheltered by Ghosts, which... Is that just GG then? Might be. Yeah, an enchantment package. They go with Dark Leo. That counts as a permanent getting sacrificed. That's pretty funny. And they get Dreaming of Beavers. Drain us for a little bit. Mutagen Man is pretty nice, but... I guess it could be ninjas, yeah. Yeah, he is a ninja, yeah. Ninja deck. Alright, how do we want to do this? Michelangelo's legendary. Honestly, let's go with Innkeeper's Talent. And then let's pump up Michelangelo. We get 2 counters put on him. Another counter on Super Shredder. And let's put another counter on Super Shredder. So we get to smack the opponent for 12. They could take a double block, which they do. So they lose their Ninja and their Dreaming of Beavers. And they still take 3 damage. And that is 2 permanents leaving the battlefield, so keep pumping up Mr. Shredder himself. Opponent punches in. They go into ninjutsu him back. That is a permanent leaving the battlefield. They get to exile our card. That sucks, but yeah, we'll get the elf down. Oh man, this 1 green mana is absolutely cooking us right now. Yeah, it's like I said, the lands are... Maybe we get rid of Fountain Port. It's really not doing too much for us right now. That's unfortunate. I would like to level up the Innkeeper's Talent just so we get some ward, because I'm pretty sure the opponent definitely has some more target spells. That's fine. Level this one up. Yeah, let's do it. Let's start leveling this one up. And then we still can get a elf down. Could also get an ooze for 1. Let's... no, I really like those mutagen tokens, so let's get an elf down. You want to hold on to Michelangelo, and then we'll put a counter on this elf right here. Opponent could double block. I guess I would be happy with that. Now, what does Splinter do? Triggers an additional time. Opponent does not take any blocks, which is pretty nice. And the next turn, mutagen. Kind of hope we draw a land, to be honest. We've been missing quite a few of our land drops. Yeah, opponent is just cooking with a ton of ninjas. Ooh, they're dealing so much damage, actually. They do keep 1 of them back. They get Death Touch. We take 5 damage, so we're down to 7. We miss a land drop again. Alright, well, we do this for 1. Put a counter on the Living Ooze. That just pumps up the Super Shredder. Oh my goodness, guys. Let's put a counter here. All right, no attacks. We do have to stay on the defensive right now. They get Menace. He just attacks all out, so... and all of them have Death Touch, so 4 damage to you, and then I guess we take you out. Oh, I guess they still have that creature as well. And they have another Dark Leo. We're down to 3. Finally, we draw a land, but it comes in tapped, so... That was a pretty brutal one. That was a pretty brutal one. Yeah, I think we have to take Fountain Port out. This land actually... I think there were 2 other games where Fountain Port not providing any colored mana was hurting us, and I mean, it's not doing anything for us right now, so... That is a card that should be removed. That is a card that should be removed. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's go ahead and do that right now, and I think that is where we will call today's stream. I do appreciate everyone who joined us. All right, so Fountain Port, definitely not a good card in this deck. Do we just go with Extra Fabled Passage? I don't think so, just because we do have a lot of really early game plays that we try and go for, so let's just add some of these cards back. 61, 60 cards. How many lands do we play, actually? 22 lands? 22 is actually not a lot, so... Get rid of 1 more card. Bebop. Honestly, maybe we just get rid of 2 copies of Bebop. Even though you do have to sack something, I don't know. Let's get rid of 1 copy, and then we'll go up 1 more land. 22 lands is on the very low side, and we have kind of gotten mana screwed in a few games. Fountain Port's also screwing us as well, so this is, I think, the deck. I'll still try and get maybe 1 or 2 more games with it. I got some games with it earlier, and it is a really fun deck. Seen a few people play it against me. We have a few people in chat who are playing it. Fearless has his own version of the deck. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna go chill out for the rest of my Saturday, and yeah, thank all you guys for joining me. I think Hillbilly will be streaming soon, so if you guys want some more Magic gameplay, you can definitely go check his channel out. And I mean, yeah, thank all you guys for joining me this Saturday. I do plan on streaming every Saturday, and I've been able to stick to that so far, which I'm happy with. And yeah, I've been able to stick to the upload schedule as well. Like I said, for this week, I already have Monday's video ready to go. This will be Wednesday's video, and I think Friday, I think I'm looking to maybe make a dinosaur deck with maybe a little sneak peek for those of you in chat right now. If you type in dino. Oh, it's looking at everything. We're looking at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he is white. Yeah, I'm looking to go with this guy right here. It's so funny that this is like a dinosaur with like a Gatling gun on his hand. But yeah, we're looking to go with traditional dinosaurs, and then we have this mecha dinosaur right here. But all dinosaurs we control get flying, so I think I'll be making a deck with this guy, playing with some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to end it like I always end it. Internet's a wild place out there, so don't trust anyone out there except your boy right here. You guys can always trust my word, and I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys,